Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Galactic Ambition, a Star Wars Unlimited podcast, part of the Main Deck podcast family. I'm Dan.
And I'm Jason, and it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, as they say.
It is, and in fact, this episode, if all my schedule is correct, is going out the day before Christmas Eve. So,
yep, and I'm in my winter wear, as you can see. You got a really nice
it looks
blue,
that's
flowery
right.
thing. I need to get my new lights up. I was gonna do that this week till I didn't have power for 3 days. It was really cool.
Yeah, there is a reason why this did not release last week, as we expected, as there always is.
Yeah, we had this like crazy. It rained, by the way, for like 15 minutes, mind you, a few days ago, and it like ripped through here, and it took the power out of our neighborhood for almost 2.5 days.
That's crazy. That is kind of like the storm that flooded my basement, though. It was like a freak
thing. It was like nothing. I was at work, and like everything was fine at work. Power like flickered, and I work probably about 4 miles from my house. So I was like, okay, whatever. Check back at home, and yeah, I had no power, so I wasn't staying here. It took me and the cat, and was out here for a little bit, and then it kind of put a wrinkle in everything. I was gonna get I have new stands for my lights so I can stop looking like I'm in some dark thing. But basically, got through all that, got back home so we can get this in the oven to leave out for Santa, like cookies. We're gonna leave this podcast out for him.
And
with the blue milk, that's a thing, right?
You got it. You named it Star Wars thing. Wow, I'm so proud of you, Jason. Yeah. It's a Christmas miracle.
It is a Christmas miracle. Like those, I just saw the other day for like the first time those god awful Wookiees from the Christmas special.
Oh no,
that was sick, dude.
Yeah, it is actually.
Like it was actually super sick. I was like, people didn't like this. Like, can't account for taste in this world.
Happy Life Day, everyone.
But yeah, this one's a really fun one. I'm really excited. I was more upset it got delayed because this is a fun format that we got here, I think.
Yeah, on both of our Main Deck podcast family podcasts, we have some really cool Christmas episodes going out this week. But that is honestly, I think, because Jason, you messaged us the other day and you're like, here's my sweet idea for a podcast. And we're like, yeah, okay, that's really great. We are doing a naughty and nice list for Star Wars Unlimited for 2025.
Yeah.
As you've come to expect from Galactic Ambition, we are equal parts sugar and spice as needed. So, and we temper the spice. We make sure it's not too spicy, but there's a little spice. You always get a little.
I mean, I think like people make a real so the community at large sometimes gets up in arms and things like that, but they make a good point sometimes that some people are just sometimes overly positive all the time about the game. And I don't think that's fair to not be able to criticize what we enjoy for room for improvement, or when things aren't good, we should just be able to be like, hey, this missed the mark. And like, what if you go against that grain, it doesn't mean anything. It's not negative or bad, especially if we're constructive about it and not just like, this is all terrible and you should hate it. That's not what we're trying to do. We want to just have a dialogue. If we didn't like something, chances are people out there didn't like it as well. So it's a good discussion point.
It's super funny. This is like a small point for the people who listen to both of our podcasts. So the small number of players who are interested both in Star Wars Unlimited and Grand Archive.
Yeah.
We had like this same discussion in, I guess we'll have when it releases the same discussion in the Grand Archive holiday episode as well. Generally, I'm more positive on Grand Archive.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the people who listen to both, I guess people know that I am pretty earnest when I do have criticism, because in this podcast, we generally are a little bit more critical than we seem a little more shilly or white knighty on the Grand Archive side of things a lot of the time. That said, we're going to go through some things that we have some criticism about today. And I think every single thing that we're going to talk about our criticisms, I know I've heard from the devs at FFG that they're like, yeah, we know. We get it. Like, yep. Or we screwed up, or yeah, we're working on it or whatever. So it's like the big disclaimer in all of this is like, it's really like a look back. And it's really about the fun concept of, let's do it. Let's do a naughty and nice list. But we definitely know FFG is always iterating, always trying to improve things, and they know about everything that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and whenever we have a tendency to will things into existence.
We do.
So, you know what? Maybe this will just be continued Galactic ambition, willing things into existence in our third podcast we recorded in 2025.
No, really? Is that really?
No,
right?
I'm being maybe. Call my bluff, internet. No, but yeah, I'm really excited to talk about this again. It's very important to reiterate, this is not to dump on anything or any specific aspect of the game. It's just to say, call it like we see it, and something just to have a lot of fun to kind of put a bow on the year, like Christmas,
like a Christmas bow on a Christmas present. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
I had to check.
No, we've done way more than
I know we've done more than 3, but it just seemed like, I don't know.
I was close. I was some number.
Yeah, you were close.
The point is
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There it is.
This is our 9th.
6, 7.
There. We're gonna get the comment to the timestamp. I've got that one time on a video, and I lost it when they commented that.
I have the naughty or nice / or 6, 7 for my Christmas shirt this year at work because the dang Pokemon kids got me doing it now. I'll be like, table 6, and they'll go table 7, and I'm like, no one gets prizing this week, everyone. Congratulations.
Yeah, this is our 9th podcast of the year.
Let's go.
So we got 9 down out of a potential
24,
20, 25, 26,
Perfect.
26.
We're gonna get better. We are getting better. Every day we get better.
We iterate. We iterate. Okay, so Jason, let's do it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna alternate between a nice thing and a naughty thing. So let's jump in. What is our very first nice thing, Jason?
Oh, I think one of the very first nice things to talk about, something that was near and dear to a lot of the player base's heart, was our very first Galactic Championship. What a fun event that was, for the most part.
Yes.
Of the Galactic Championship. Very important that we put that there, because there are 2 sides to this Christmas cookie. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Dan, you obviously had a blast. You were up there in the booth.
Yeah, Galactics,
saying words.
Galactics was like crazy. It was. I think. Okay, I'm just gonna get out of the way, right? Like the event, the tickets, the prize wall, the side events. There were a lot of logistical issues that happened.
Yep.
And I think a lot of lessons and a lot of learning that happened from that event. If it happens again next year, I'll go on blast, right? But I will say this event was so big. It was
huge.
Ridiculously huge.
Huge.
I think there were things that could have been done better, even knowing that, all of this stuff, 100%. But at some point, you just got to wrap that all up and say, okay, that was it. That was the bad part. Now let's talk about what was actually awesome.
Yeah.
And the event, the energy in the room, the community.
Oh yeah.
The stage was crazy.
That was so sick. When we saw that walking in to do our judge walkthrough, and they were like, don't tell anybody what you're about to see.
I'm
like,
I want to tweet this. I want to tweet this so badly. I need to show you guys.
To tell my friends.
Oh man. It was, the stage was crazy. The production, other than the game board, the display was for ants.
It was for ants, but you know what? Again, growing pains, right?
Yeah. But the production team we worked with was so professional, so on board. And from just the casting side of things, it was like they were so good. It was, I do casting for Grand Archive also. And Grand Archive's casting production is like a homegrown building up, adding stuff on as they go, learning as they go. They're incredible. They're so fun to work with. They're so passionate. They're so serious about making a great production. And they do a really good job. But it was very different working with this extremely just experienced professional company that had they had a gigantic truck in the back that was just full of, I don't know how many thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of crazy audio equipment and everything. And it was like, it was just, yeah,
And
it
that's
was, it
a
was
really good
absurd.
point you make about professionalism, because like in the judge side of it as well.
Oh yeah.
Granted, there was stopgaps, and we're gonna get there. But man, some of the best and brightest from judge staff that I've worked with, across multiple games. Obviously, a lot of the judges were from a lot of the SEG cons,
Mm-hmm.
because those were kind of the events leading up, and obviously from previous circuits. You want to get people with experience who are knowledgeable of the judge staff stuff, and then obviously people like the line mongers and everything else. There was so much eagerness and willingness to jump in to do something to solve a problem, which was obviously evidenced by the player base at large, day 2 and 3, when we were just all running all over the place to accomplish anything. And the energy in the room, you make a really good point about that too. Just talking with people. I got to talk to a lot of people on Sunday when I was right this way, right this way, here's some OP packs right this way. And there was some grumble, but it was a really cool celebration of what brought us all there. For some it's the Star Wars aspect of everything, the lore, the
Not Jason.
Not me,
but for other people.
Not for me. For some of us, it's our love of the game, the gameplay loop, so something we really enjoy, something different in the trading card game space, not your typical clone of other games that we keep seeing constantly and constantly coming out. It's something new, something fresh. So it was really exciting to see that, and it was a nice celebration of it, regardless of the things that maybe kind of brought it down. Which kind of brings us to our next point.
Well, I want to just really quick, because you
sure.
mentioned it just tangentially, because it's not on our list, but you reminded me that we are so blessed in Star Wars to have Cascade and the judge community and 100%. Star City on board too. It's like there are so few like specifically judge issues in Star Wars Unlimited compared to a lot of other card games that it's like, I didn't think of it till you mentioned that, but like, damn, like nice
that's
list,
on the nice list, but there's no parallel to put it, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
There was no like judge controversies or anything like that, but yeah, absolutely. That's the judge community too is all super helpful to one another, because I see a lot of these guys, as we travel, a lot of the same ones, and it's all it's helpful. It's about, bringing each other up so that we could all do the best we can, so we could keep everything going. So it's really cool. So yeah, really good point about that.
Okay. But our naughty list point, go for
it. Organized play logistics was kind of a nightmare this year, a little bit, in a couple ways. You kind of touched on it on Galactics, but man, what about them side events? How'd that go? Day one, and it was not for a lack of effort. There was I think that truly we probably needed about like 20 more people.
Yeah.
Just because, for the demand and like the prize wall, like, dude, you put showcases that we've never seen before. The only time we can get Luke and Vader set ones is showcases on the prize wall. You don't think there's going to be these grinders just out there gunning it, shotgunning 8-mans, just trying to get stuff done to try to mob that prize wall. And you can't get the event started and going and the flow. That was a huge misstep. And it's so funny because like nobody in the main event crew, we had no idea that was happening. I was just walking my tables day one, answering some questions, making sure everybody knows how much time's in the round, thinking everything's all right. Meanwhile, this is fine with the fire going on and behind me, a couple tables in the back of the room. And it's not for lack of effort. That's not what happened. I just think that the demand was so large that it was just not supported by enough bodies.
I think in general, Galactics, I mean, it's weird because they definitely had a number of tickets that were sold. They knew how many people were going to be there, but across the board, the logistics to meet the demand of that many players just weren't met. And I think that goes for many things. It's having, like you said, the staff to meet the sort of just the requirements that were created by having that many players trying to do everything at once. It was having the right amount of promotional product, promo cards, and everything.
Maybe not selling them.
It was like managing the
Yeah, that
stock in the
was
correct
rough.
way.
Yeah.
There are ways to limit the amount of things people can get, that
Hmm.
even around some of the things people would say, like, oh, what if they get back in line? What if they, yeah, I mean, there are ways to handle it,
Of
right?
course, right? Like, there's always going to be people doing whatever they can. You can't, you know, you can't. You cast a wide in a wide net. There's going to be holes. Like,
Yep.
that's just how it goes.
Gamers gonna game is the thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Like,
And yeah,
I
we saw
flew to
gamers
Las
gaming.
Vegas. I live halfway across the world. I'm trying to leave with my, my coin purse full. Whether
Yep.
it's me getting a bunch of promos that I want, or me taking it all to marketplaces and just trying to flip them. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there, I mean, Galactics was one thing, right?
Yeah, it
Obviously
was.
a lot
But
of,
there's more.
but it was, unfortunately, like, there are actually a couple of just quirks and
Yeah.
things that have happened at different points. To me, the one that was the roughest was actually in the follow up in the Secrets of,
Yeah.
in the Legends of the Force season, the announcement of the sectors and the regional, like, weeks
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
before
But
they
yeah.
started, and
Ugh.
1 week apart. And it was
Hmm.
like, whoa, like, I desperately wanted to go to both a regional and a sector. And the only sector I could go to was the same day as the regional, and the regional was in Spain. It was like, I might have gone to Spain. I might have done that, actually, but
Yeah.
it just, like, timing was like, I literally I can't travel as much as I want to. The gate, like, it just, these logistics of how close they are, and then how close they are to each other, and how close the announcement are to
Yeah.
these, made it impossible for me to actually go to as many events as I wanted to, which
Yeah.
was rough.
Yeah, and same thing. Like, I was going to say the same thing. It was impossible for me to try to travel these things because they were also so far away from me geographically, being in Florida. There
Yeah.
was no shot in that short of notice. The plane tickets were like astronomical,
Yeah.
and the reality is, if I'm going to go and staff an event, unfortunately, I have to make some amount of money back because I have to. It's a job, right? Like, if we're doing this, it's for the love of the game, but also too, we are adults in the real world. Like, there has to be, compensation and things like that. And if it can't offset the amount I have to spend because, like, I am booking things 2 weeks out, it means I have to miss out of those things, which is unfortunate. There are plenty competent staff and people went to these events, but I could have been there and I really wanted to. And a lot of my friends wanted to travel these events and just couldn't justify it. And I think it's like, well, we need to keep the organized play train going, right? We can't have Galactics and the years cut off. Like, Final Fantasy organized play ended not too long ago, and we are now, when Worlds ends, we have to wait. And I'm glad we didn't have to do that, like, for Star Wars. But I think, like, more notice. But again, these are things that they all definitely are aware of. You've heard it, I've heard it
Mhm.
firsthand that they know about all this stuff.
Well,
Um,
I mean, we've got a number of viewers on the channel who joined recently just because we had a really, really awesome opportunity
yeah,
to do an interview with Xander Tabler, who just became the head of organized play, the manager of
so
organized
sick.
play for
Yeah,
Fantasy Flight. And, like, Jason, you and I, we've known Xander for a little while
yeah,
now. Like, we've done
absolutely.
a couple, like, content creator events with him. We've had a lot
Hmm.
of conversation, a lot of discussion. And you and I think, both know how I would say conscious and mindful Xander is of, like,
Sure.
everything going on in the community, but also the way that he's approaching anything that he's, like, in charge of, really.
Yeah,
Um, and I think Xander, and from what he described in that interview,
which is great, by the way.
it was a really fun interview to
Yeah,
do.
it was
And
really cool.
I was actually really unfortunate that we turned off the camera because we were done with the set of questions that we had,
Yeah.
kind of had approved and everything. But then we talked for another, like, 15-30 minutes afterwards. And, like, there's some probably things that he couldn't have put on camera, I
Sure, of
guess.
course.
But, like, he's starting to edge onto some more potential, exciting, just, like, I don't know, just behind the scenes stuff, right? That, like, we would have had to have approved and everything,
Yeah.
to post publicly. But, like, and maybe they would have been, because I don't think it wasn't like he spoiled anything crazy for me, but, like, or anything at all. It was just, like, hearing more about the process and the thoughts and what he's focusing on and what he's into and everything. It's like that kind of stuff is really makes me feel very hopeful,
Hmm.
that they understand. And I know there's, like, there's people, we had comments on there saying, the thing is, we need like the full year event schedule.
100%.
And it's very difficult for a lot of games to post like a full year in advance, but it's definitely possible for games to get notice of, a good number of months ahead.
Like your signpost events, right?
Yeah.
You should always have those signpost events that are like your large scale or like regional level style events. And then you kind of put the flyer events around it, the ones that are maybe a little bit smaller or maybe figuring out like where it's going to be. But you have like your signposts, a big event here, big event here, big event here, big event here. But again, that is not an unreasonable ask.
I don't think it is. And I like, I think if we could get to the point where we know all the regionals.
Yeah.
Like up to Galactics or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And then at the next Galactics, we have the next like few regionals already, like on the books. That would be great. I'm actually okay if the sectors are like a little more on the fly, but nothing should be closer than 6 weeks out ever. That is like, and like from a booking perspective, actually, for people who don't know, usually the best rates for your flights are booked around 6 weeks in advance. Like that's kind of the sweet spot when they've already filled up some amount of seats on the planes and they need to start filling the planes, and so the prices tend to go down a little bit right there. So that's around the sweet spot. So book 6 weeks in advance.
Yeah, stay tuned to Galactic Ambition, where we could talk to you more about your travel needs and like tips and tricks. That's where it's gonna be a new segment.
I've traveled a lot in the last year, and it's not changing going into 2026.
That's good, though.
So.
Look at you, you little jet setter.
It's been crazy. But anyway,
quick, before we get away from this, I need to talk about missing promotional items at these events, man.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll take it a little bit with a grain of salt on some of this stuff. I get it. We're in a time right now, tariffs, uncertainty of how products are going to get to us, right? But like these tokens that I just got for, what was that event we judged together?
That was Denver.
This thing, you kind
Jump
of could
to
see it.
Speed season.
You could see it.
That was
I got it like 3 weeks ago.
That was like March.
I got 2 though. I did get 2.
I got it. Somehow they got to everybody over a span of like 4 months, 3 or 4
like
months.
It's like something. Right. And then the Yaddle promo situation where people didn't. I think it was Yaddle, right? Was one.
Hey, actually, I maybe someone will listen to me because I need to talk to someone. I judged that event and I never got an email to get a Yaddle promo.
And now Dan's waiting.
And I need to talk to somebody because I need my promos.
Now, there are games that have had trouble literally this year. Magic had 2 issues with that this year with the Get Lost promo, and I think another one. We get it. It is not okay to find out at the event, in my opinion. In the age of modern technology and the World Wide Web and everything else, like what was it? What was the ticket that wasn't at Galactics on time? Oh my gosh! So we got a Carbonite packet for the VIP ones.
Yeah.
Right. That was the one.
That was I thought the thing that didn't arrive.
No, because we didn't get a Carbonite. We got 3 booster packs for instead. What was it? Oh my god!
So we
had to go back in line.
I didn't get a bag because I was casting. So
right.
I don't.
Oh my gosh!
I don't actually. Anyway, I don't remember.
And it was a huge kerfuffle that we don't have this.
Yeah.
Someone will comment on it or we'll figure it out, and Dan could science it. But yeah, things like this in the year 2025, to me personally, I don't think it's acceptable, especially in a large scale sense. Is it kind of nitpicky? Yes, but the logistics of also getting the email that people signed up of 3,000 people and then shipping them something because we couldn't have it in the first place, it just feels kind of slapped together, and there's like, one hand wasn't shaking the other. That is obviously something that they are looking to correct. They've mentioned it before. That is something that we don't want to have happen. But I would be remiss if we didn't touch on that with the organized play logistics, because to me, like I got this 3 weeks ago, and that's like I forgot about it. I forgot about it. I'm like, oh, what is this envelope? By the way, plain white envelope, half ripped, hanging out because they're heavy. But hey, you're sending out a ton of them. I respect it. You gotta save where you can.
I think that was the question Xander answered in the interview, where you could tell he was like the most ready with
Yeah.
like a point by point, like, yep, here's the stuff that we kind of screwed up and what we're trying to fix. So I definitely am like hopeful that that's just going to get better under
100%.
specifically under Xander's shepherding now.
100%.
So yeah, I hope that's the case. But yeah, and I also want to say, in the moment, they did have at least like there were some good things that happened. Like at Portland, they said that, I remember the announcement. They said, we don't have Yaddle promos, whatever, and the crowd boos.
Yes.
And but then they say, but we're giving you all like 2 extra event pack things or whatever, and then the crowd cheers.
Yeah,
like,
right. It's good to have a solution, but like, man, let's not have the problem in the first place.
Yeah. I agree.
I think it feels better to not have the problem in the first place. Again,
it costs them a ton to have the problem,
right?
too. Like they know. It's. I think that's a funny thing too. I think some people are like, yeah, why can't they just get it together? It's like they don't care. It's like,
well, it's obvious they know.
Look. I mean, look at what they lost. Like
right.
they had to spend all that shipping costs, all that stuff. And they had to give up a bunch of those event promos, which I don't know. Maybe they were just going to have too many and it wasn't going to be a big deal, but also maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
So like they did have, there was a real cost to them having that issue.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that they think, well, we got to make sure it doesn't happen.
There's the judges that didn't get a Vader at Galactics, which is still crazy.
Okay. I forgot. And that was
insane.
I think one of the most egregious issues that I heard all year. Yeah, there was a small number of judges who they just simply ran out of Judge Vaders for.
You just don't get it.
And again, it just goes back to like, I just don't think the numbers were figured out correctly
and
for everything.
It's year 0. It'll get better. I get it, but that's tough. But enough about that. Get that out of here. We're back to being nice again.
These guys hate Star Wars.
Yeah, we obviously hate Star Wars, but let's talk about something nice. And you really wanted to talk about this because
I'll talk.
Let's and I'll piggyback off you. Something nice about Star Wars Unlimited this year.
This is a big one. I think that Jump to Lightspeed and Legends of the Force, these were just like 10 out of 10 sets.
For sure.
I think, I mean, are there cars that are like not as good as the others? Well, whatever, sure. There's like, but I think the theme on these sets was like I look back at all the 6 sets we've had so far, and like no set is as appealing to me as those 2. And I actually can't pick which one I like more than the other. I think they're both awesome.
We both were talking about how we can't decide.
Yeah, I think their mechanics are super fun. I think the leaders are all like super exciting and fun across the board and cool characters that you want to play. I think that there's a ton of like really playable legendaries, and just the play patterns in both sets, like limited formats, super fun for both of them. I think force bases were like whoa, like this is so cool. This is awesome. The pilots were like, everyone was like, these are broken. They're crazy. And they're like, wait, no, actually, upgrade removal is broken. It's crazy.
Yeah, wow, as it turns out, 2 for 1 of your opponent is sick.
Yeah, wow. I love both of those sets. I think they nailed both of those sets, knocked them out of the park. If every set was like those, we would just be like, we'd be eating all day.
We would be eating good for sure, as the kids say. I really enjoyed it. I think personally, I like Jump to Lightspeed more because pilots and that stuff was so fun. Minus Vader, Victor Leader, don't care too much about that deck.
I get annoyed when I play that deck, but also there's something fun about the race every time.
Dude, because it is
when
sweet,
you win
right?
it's like, get screwed.
But bro, there is a friend of mine at our locals that brings it every week. They show up since Jump to Lightspeed is coming.
You got to get bored of this deck at some point.
Not when you like go 75% on the night usually, because you just get to the overload turn. But we're being nice this time. But yeah, no, Jump to Lightspeed was so fun. One of my favorite brewing formats, and kind of just messing around with cards, because pilots, it is really cool. Like I like leaders turning in, but that was like crazy, right? Like, whoa, what are we doing? Is really cool thematically, a lot of fun. It feels fun. Like Legends of the Force, what I really enjoyed about Legends of the Force is when you get one of those impactful Force cards, they feel strong. Like they read very strong. Like it's the marquee of the set, and you read it and it's like, wow, you're reeling what you're getting out of the box and what you pulled. Like, man, these really do feel super cool, and like the non-canon stuff, all that stuff. But now I can't wait anymore. I'm done being nice.
I'm gonna say one more thing.
Oh my gosh, you keep doing this to me. But
yeah, but I just because I know you're gonna be rough here. I just
nice.
I just have to say that you're spot on. But like with those force units, like when you get the Yoda, just like pop off, it's like, oh my god, like this is the most broken card in the game.
It's insane.
But they're also they're really really well balanced. I think.
Yeah. Again, I don't think there's anything egregious. Personally, Vader I could do without, but that's more of a personal.
Well, I mean, there was the interaction with Triple Dark Raid, but like that was an unfortunate situation of like how the development cycle worked and sort of like just the not foreseeing.
Yeah, they fixed
where it's
going
to go. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, fine, Jason.
Okay,
go to the naughty.
We're gonna be naughty here, and we are kind of guilty of this because we really like this Secret of Power set. We think Secret of Power is a good set.
It's a fun set.
But the principle of the hand washing club being your legendary card you pull is not exciting, regardless of how good they are. I'm sorry. The theme overall of Secrets of Power. Okay, look, a little bit about me. You know, you want to learn more about me. I love stories of like political intrigue. Some of my favorite stuff and like video game arcs and stuff like that is like political powers warring against each other, right? The machinations, evil, people behind the scenes, puppeteers. I do not think that translates well into a trading card game at all. I'm sorry. It does not feel exciting or fun to play these cards that read very powerful. There's not anything wrong with the power level of the set. I think Secrets of Power is actually great set, a lot of fun, a lot of really cool stuff you can play with in there, really cool decks in there. But man, does it just feel kind of lame? Like a little bit?
Yeah, no, yes. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
But Jason, like even worse, you are not a Star Wars fan, so you just see these random dudes and
exactly
it shouldn't matter to you because
I don't care.
Because they can all be stick figures.
I'm halfway through Clone Wars now.
Okay. Wow, you're going so fast.
I've been I got super sick.
Oh yeah,
I got super sick. But yeah, anyway, sorry. But I'm getting there. Like, I'll be an expert.
You will eventually. Looking forward to that in 2026. But like still, it's just like there's just something missing in the set and it's obvious because you look at how the prices are going on Secrets of Power for everything.
We talked about this before I recorded. We tried to do a $15 Legends of the Force draft, 2 packs in the price pool
Secrets
per player.
Or
Secrets of Power. I'm sorry, Secrets. Yeah. Legends, we would fire that.
Yeah.
We would 100% fire that. And it's not because the format's bad. It's just, it's not fun to really open in play boosters. And again, we'll get to that.
Yeah, that's another thing.
We're going to get to that, but yeah.
Secrets of Power, I think there's an important lesson learned, which is that like all of us who are Star Wars fans, who are like hardcore Star Wars fans and love every little nook and cranny and corner of the universe and all these little weird and like love Andor. Like, I mean, you gotta love Andor. Andor's crazy. But like you want to have these characters in the game. Like you want Luthen to be a character, right? And like you want Sly more and you want C-3PO to be a leader at some point. You're like, oh yeah, cool. Like I finally get to see like this character, right? But the thing is, you just don't really want 20 of them in the same set.
Right? Like
it's like we're just missing something here. We're missing something, and it's a laser sword. It's walking up with a laser sword and swinging it.
Laser swords.
It's like, I don't know. That's just the unfortunate thing about Secrets of Power is that like these characters could work as a small component of different sets, right? That's fine. Yes. But it's like the whole thing being built around it turned out when it got to the marketplace. And I mean, people were kind of telling this from the start too, as the spoilers were coming out, you could tell like, even if we were like saying, these cards I think are better.
Oh, we were extremely positive too. We actually talked about it because
they are.
They are, and they were good. But we would talk about it ahead of time, like, man, people are really ragging on this. So we'd have to like preface it like, oh, well, you're not excited. Well, here's this, because it was exciting, but it didn't look exciting. It doesn't look appealing. It doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
Which...
The vibe is huge, especially with Star Wars, which is a game where people don't realize like how many people just casually pick this up. We have more people in the area I've never seen come to a tournament for Star Wars that buy Star Wars than the players who do come to tournaments in my area. And I'm like, oh, hey, we got tournaments on Saturday. Like, oh, yeah, I just kind of like to pick them up. You're like,
yeah, I like to open packs, and that's sweet too.
But they're not
do they
like
to open Secrets of Power?
No, they don't.
The answer is no. And if you go and the proof's out there, go look at all the marketplaces and stuff like that and see. And I think it's in large part, and I genuinely do not think it's because of the power of the set. That's not even close. I just think the theme is off.
But I can say for sure, again, I know that FFG is very aware of this.
Sure.
And I think we already saw from A Lawless Time, like I like that A Lawless Time starts with, in those reveals, they started with Return of the Jedi, like good old, like classic stuff going on. And I'm confident when we start to see more of like the leaders and everything in A Lawless Time, I think people are going to go, okay, like this direction this feels good to me. Yeah, I think it'll be good.
I'm with you. And again, it's kind of just, no one wants just pencil pushers and bureaucrats. We want it's just not, again, I love watching it. I like watching things unfold, but man, it does not feel fun to open those things. But enough about that. Let's put Secrets of Power to the side for now. Let's go back to being sunshines and rainbows. And I think something to actually be sunshines and rainbows about is these new organized play promos have been coming out. Holy moly. And the in-store organized play promo packs too. The change to adding legends to them, I think, was awesome. It's so fun. We hand out Pop-Tarts at the locals. That's what we call them. They're Pop-Tarts. And when I go hand out the Pop-Tarts, yeah, at first it was like, oh my gosh, I have so many of these. And I get it, right? Like, we opened so many, there was no chases.
Yeah.
It was just a distribution of here's what you can get. Adding a chase to the promo packs, first of all, at local weeks was huge. That's awesome.
That was good.
It feels good. It's fun. Again, it's exciting to open a chase. Yes, you might open 80 Yodas or whatever. Who's the chase this time?
I literally just pulled it. I just pulled it the other day. Is it Full Matrix or no? That's in the store showdown kit.
Yeah, I can't type or it'll go clack 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 clack.
Yeah. I literally pulled it the other day and now I can't remember which one it is. And everyone who is a fan is like, oh, obviously it's let's see, the reason that I don't know this off the top of my head is because I've not been very quiet about how much I dislike the event pack, the current, like until the upcoming change in next year.
The frame is
the event pack frame. I just don't care about these promos the way they are. But yeah,
don't worry, I'm researching right now.
I'm pulling it. I'm gonna find it because is it Lando?
It's Lando. He's a legend.
It's I think it's Lando. Yes,
it is. Okay,
it's Lando.
Anyway, yeah. Chunky garbage frame aside that nobody really is a fan of, it is really fun to put a chase card in the weekly organized play packs. It's exciting to chase it down. It's exciting to get it as a foil. Things like that. I think that's really cool. And man, what is going on with these new promos, dude?
Yeah, so they made a change this year to their sectors and everything. Like they started sectors this year, actually, right? This is the first year with sectors, starting at the start of the year with Jump to Lightspeed. And they then they updated it with the Galactic Championships, how they were doing prize wall promos and everything, because that first sector had event pack frames. It had the red gradient borders and everything.
My favorite.
But when they went to Galactics, they introduced promo packs and their new frame for Galactics, and people saw the Galactic promos and they lost their damn minds.
Yeah, because I couldn't get a dang super laser blast.
Well, okay, there was that. But anyway, the cards just looked really good. They looked good. The Galactic frame cards look good. The more like generic organized play ones still look super good. And they used that generic frame and they moved it into sectors and regionals, but they made it so sectors had silver border and regionals had gold border for their alt arts. And the arts just had that nice subtle frame with the full art behind it and everything. And they just look so damn good.
It feels worthy of going to an event you traveled for and you are taking time into. It makes the event feel more prestigious, actually. Like it makes it feel more valued, even though, the values or whatever, but it makes it feel really good when you get a nice looking card. I don't know what the thought process personally, but it was behind the first frame. I don't get it still. I don't know. I'm glad it's on its way out. But man, we had some really cool stuff this year. I'm so excited to see what future promos are going to look like, what future promos we're going to get. Really, really knocked it out of the park with that. So kudos.
And do you remember when we got the like Kylos and stuff at the Denver sector?
Oh, dude, when we were in line,
yeah,
and you turned to me, you're like, dude.
The Obi-Wans and Kylos, they were the first ones using that, like that new the frame that has the whole like star.
And we saw they were judge stamped too. We lost our mind.
And those, I love those. They look super, even though they have a big bulky frame on them and small art, it's still just the frame looks, again, like you were saying, Jason, it's like prestige. They just look,
it feels
prestigious.
Good.
It feels really good. I don't know if maybe you guys are picking up on feel matters a lot in TCGs. And I think that's been a little bit of an issue at the start of the game where it's been kind of like, well, it's fine. It'll be fine. Like we're just put the promos out. It'll be fine. But they started figuring out this year, like how to get everything to feel better. And now it's like, it helps. It just helps a ton. I don't know. It just helps a lot. So that was huge. I think this year they had a huge level up in their OP promos across the board. That's extending into next year as the weekly play stuff is changing. We still don't have details on how like weekly play local event promo packs are going to change necessarily. I felt like in the interview, Xander was hinting that I can try and put my interpretation out there now that this is not any hard information or anything, but I felt like he was hinting at some idea that maybe we would have different like promos specific to certain events or formats or type of play or something. And I think we could use that because Jason, frankly, as you mentioned, those Pop-Tart packs, even with a chase in them though, I mean, like I hand them out. We have way too many. We have way too,
but they're also readily available. We could say, hey, we need more, which is a good thing. We ran out.
Yeah. But actually
I was handing out like a pile of them.
I would say that the optimal strategy is to do something where your store is going to get a certain amount based on your event experience over like the past month or something, so that you're not getting too many.
Not getting inundated, right? Like other games are doing that now. Like report your attendance. We see what your attendance is. And I wonder if it's probably just a maybe bandwidth issue for something like that, right?
Yeah.
But who knows? It feels like something that could be done.
It's something that other games do, but
absolutely.
It's something that I think we could use here because I think one other problem is that there's just too many weekly play promos out there. So they don't have any value. And also a lot of people didn't like the gradient borders. So
I also am of the camp though, that I don't think weekly play promos need to be worth a ton.
Sure.
You're going to spend X amount of local or play at a local for free. I don't think having chasey kind of expensive cards, but there also needs to be a reason to go outside of just playing.
Yeah, but I will say at our locals, we have a lot of players now who don't attend weeklies, but when we have a store showdown, they come out of the woodwork for it.
They want gore.
Because they want the gore.
They want the gore.
They want the gore.
Yeah, they want the gore.
They yearn for the gore.
They did not forgore about gore. Nor will I.
We will never forgore about gore. But no, I mean, but they come out just because, okay, so there's like something cool
special
to pick up here. And I think we need a dash of things need to be a little bit nicer.
A carrot to dangle a little bit.
And I think we're seeing that direction going into next year. So I hope that's the case. But let's step back from OP promos and things that we'll talk about something else as we're talking about weekly play promos that people don't really want. We'll talk about something else that players don't really want that goes right back into what we were saying about Secrets of Power. Jason, what's our naughty?
It's Carbonite packs, dude.
Yeah,
Man.
I
But
was
it's great that we have a whole bunch of new information and things are changing.
yeah, that's again, just like we said at the
Again, we
start,
just need
there's
to
a lot of things.
preface it right now.
But like I was holding the fort down with not I was gonna like wait a little bit and see how Carbonite went because Carbonite has some exciting things. It has the addition of prestiges, which are
Mhm.
great looking cards
Great.
most of the time. And the higher showcase rate and stuff, which is something we all wanted after sets 1, 2, and 3 when showcases felt impossible to
Mhm.
pull. Um, and the cereals are great for collectors. Like that's something that people need to
Yeah.
realize that like it's really good to have that for Star Wars because there need to be chases for collectors. But Carbonite's killed regular boosters.
Dude,
Play boost
destroyed them.
they're just dead. They're
Yeah,
gone.
it's for shops, and other games are suffering from this right now. You've talked about it on Twitter. We talked about it at the store. What Yu-Gi-Oh is going through right now.
Oh,
Good Lord, look at their product. And Star Wars for the base boosters are kind of in that
they're the
same.
same thing.
They are
I'm not gonna mince
literal. Yeah,
words.
they're literal just dead stock a lot of the time.
We lose money trying to sell them.
Cards, we sell them, but that's because it's the optimal way to buy it. And even so, Carbonites don't really hold a ton of value either, because when you open them, it's like Christmas time
Yeah.
a lot of the time in terms of like pulls and value rate and everything. And it feels so unnecessarily higher above a regular booster, which thankfully there are changes coming and that's good. But it is hurting the player base at large, because people who may not be in that budget range to buy booster packs, it feels bad for them. Yeah, they can go ahead and get the singles because there's a bunch out there, but it kind of takes away that allure of going to the store and getting a sweet pull. But you're not going to get it because you can't get that version or even close to that version in the regular booster versus Carbonite.
So let me explain for people who haven't heard about this too much, but like the theory behind Carbonite and regular boosters, and then I'm going to lead that into why the changes coming. Well, they're not as drastic as I would have recommended. They are heading in the right direction to address that, right? So the idea is supposed to be this: Carbonite boosters are supposed to be extremely limited, right? And I think people say like, well, why are stores only getting this many? Why is it so expensive? That at least they said that for the first 2 sets. They don't really care about secrets too much, but they're supposed to sell out. Like
Yeah,
you're supposed to go.
they
Yeah,
do in the other games that do this.
yeah. Did you pre-order? Oh no, then we don't. We
Yeah.
don't have any, or like we held a box back to do a special tournament, and now everybody comes up because it's like $1,000 value to get this. Like they're supposed to be really, really limited and really hard to get. And the idea is that you're gonna pay more to get those because it's this limited thing that's hard to get. And then afterwards, everybody who just wants to play the game, it's like collectors who have the money and want to spend on it are supposed to buy those boosters. That's why they're called collector boosters in other games,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But then everyone else who's like, oh, I just want to get my Cassians and my Queen Amidala's and whatever, I want to get these to play the game. You're supposed to buy the play booster, the regular booster packs, as they're called in this game, in order to get your playsets and stuff. The problem is that, like you said, Jason, the disparity between the packs was too big,
It's
for one.
awful.
But also, I think the quantity printed
Way too many
was not in the right ballpark.
And I think it's because they had the Chicken Little moment with set 1.
Yeah,
it's 100% an overcorrection from that they had to. They you can't have that situation again. But this is a product that is different from that. It should feel exclusive. It should feel rare. It should feel prestigious, right?
Yep.
And now it's like it's the only product I should buy because it's there.
Yep.
It's there. I mean, we have JTL, we have it all in Carbonite, and we could get it. We could still order it.
Yeah.
So, and that's, again, it would just be another thing to complain about by people if it sold out, right? Oh, I can't find Carbonite boosters anywhere. It was a terrible idea. You have to pick your battle, and I think I'd rather have the side where it feels luxurious. It's supposed to be a luxury product in a way, right? Yep. So let it feel that way versus well, it's the only way to open product. That's not good.
I think, yeah, because when it's the only way, that's when your shops can't sell your game because it's devalued the regular booster boxes too much. And then your shop drops the game, right? Yes. And that's where you start to run into issues. And now, like, we are not Sky is Falling at all about Star Wars Limited, because when you look at event attendance and everything, it is doing just fine. It is rocking it. We have all these PQs firing now. We're having a great time. But it has an issue where right now the product supply is not just, it's just like you said. I really think it was an overcorrection from set 1. 100%. Totally. I think the game has been in overcorrection mode since then. And then when they come out with doubling the SKUs and jump to light speed, it's like, well, how do we get the right amount? Like, we can't. And I think they just edge on the side of caution. Like, well, we can't underprint it anymore, right? But I think going into this future sets, they do need to start to continue to, and I think we actually were seeing some correction down. It's just that Secrets of Power was so unwanted that it was like, okay, well, there's still plenty. So I think they're going to continue to correct it and get it there. But the other thing we're seeing, the change in Carbonites that I think is really good that people aren't thinking, is the adjustment of how serials work. Yeah. Where some cards are in the previous one, serials were all printed to 250, or in the case of some Secrets of Power serials, they were printed to like 300.
Yeah, a little more.
A bunch of them were double printed accidentally, but we're correcting that. They're correcting that. Anyway, we'll say that a lot in this episode. But in the starting with a lot less time, some serials are printed to only 100 or 50. And I saw some people who were like, I don't get why they're doing this. Why are they making like less of the hits or whatever? Well, here's the thing. And I found out explaining this that people didn't quite understand from the collector side of things. When you're a collector, if you're a collector who's trying to chase the coolest characters, okay, so you want to get Darth Vader, you want to get Yoda, you want to get whatever. Like, when you want to get the serials of those characters, because you're a collector, you are literally never going to go get a serial 212 of Darth Vader. It is cool that you hit it, but there are simply too many serials for some of those, because you want it to be the case now. When you hit a Darth Vader, it's numbered to 50. It's numbered down, pared down so much more, because now the smaller pool of players who actually want collectors who actually want to spend money on a serial are limited in what is available to them. So they're more apt to actually buy it. It's going to actually enable the market to work better on those serials by limiting some of them more.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to feeling luxurious. A 189, it doesn't feel good as like 31, 12. 3, stuff like that. And it also kind of gives a tiering to it. So it's chases within the chase. So that's even more fun. I think that's all good things.
Yep.
Well, we got one more set here, and we're going to leave it off with a doozy. Something that is nice in Star Wars Unlimited. Limited format sectors, and man, limited format in general in this game is so sick, and the fact that it's being supported in a large organized play scale is sweet. And Dan, you actually just got to do a nice little guest article on limited.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I was tapped to write about the Secrets of Power limited format, getting into it a little bit. So just like a quick peek behind the curtain, but like that was, I had to do some like real learning about the Secrets of Power limited format kind of before it was as readily available to everyone right now. So it was kind of fun, like kind of interesting to see how that worked. I used all the experience I could just to try. I tried to write an article for the mothership it's on StarWarsUnlimited.com just to try and help if you are new to limited in this game and you want to and you just want to start with Secrets of Power. That article is supposed to just help you kind of understand, okay, what am I looking at? What am I looking for? Like, how do I dig into this format and start to do something in it? So yeah, that was really fun. And I think it was really great to see them kind of looking to get some more, like, just more media covering it, because
I think physical articles in general, I don't think there's enough articles in the gaming space at all anymore, because anyone get a camera and a microphone and talk.
Yeah, right.
Which is good. That's good media, but I also think it's kind of becoming a little bit of a lost art.
it's nice to have, I think, written content that people can peruse on
Yes.
their own time, dig through. They don't have to feel like, oh, I don't want to listen to someone. I gotta, whatever. Someone, my wife's next to me. I don't want to bother her, like whatever. And it's, I'm hoping that this helps people get into sectors, limited sectors more, because the coolest thing about the addition of limited sectors is that this format is just good. Like,
yeah.
Draft and Sealed in Star Wars Unlimited is just a great time. And really, really skill testing, like really, truly some of the hardest, like, Star Wars Unlimited to play, because you have to be so good at so many aspects of the game, not just, hey, I found a really crazy deck and I'm playing it and I played it a bunch and I'm good at it. Right.
You've done the reps. You went on SWU, you saw what won this event. I'm just going to jam it. Right.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool to see how different players in the player base do in these events, and like how people gravitate to them. DDA, who you and I both know, big fan of Limited in this. It's done really well in with the limited events, and it's really cool that people who may not have an opportunity to flex this kind of brain. There are people I know who only play other games in limited formats, will only show up to a draft night, will only show up to a seal night, because it is different. It's the same but different, right? Yeah. You are playing the cards that usually end up in the draft chaff. That's why it's called chaff. That's why it's called draft chaff, right? It's the stuff that I used in the draft. I leave it on the table, and it's really cool to see those cards see play, see the synergy, and like as a whole, it's not just the bells and whistles and the shiniest cards. It comes to just people flexing all parts of their Star Wars Unlimited knowledge, and I think it's really cool that it's supported in a larger scale outside of weekly play.
Yeah, I think it was a huge thing, just to add to the game, to add to that variety of competitive play. And
absolutely,
I'm really anticipating, if it becomes like a portion of Galactics or something next year.
I hope so.
I think it would be really great to have one of those like 3 days go actually into limited and really start to, like, you got to watch out for Mike though. Bobby Sapphire, dude. Like, it was one of the craziest moments of this whole year was 2 weeks in a row across the US,
which is
opposite sides of the US. Bobby Sapphire, Mike Gem, goes to Portland sector, wins it, flies all the way to Philadelphia the next weekend, wins the sector there. One was Premier, one was Sealed and Draft, and he wins both of them. Like, that kind of accomplishment is nearly unheard of in card games. In any card game, it's like, oh my God, like 2 majors in a row on opposite sides of the country in opposite formats. Like, that dude, I mean, I want to see Mike in finals of Galactics this year.
Well, if we get to do more limited stuff, I'm so excited to see what everyone else does and what he continues to do. But we're cheating for the last one.
Okay.
We're cheating.
True.
So technically the cadence is naughty, but we're gonna play both sides of the coin here. Dan, I'm gonna start with you with this naughty topic.
Okay. And this is totally a personal opinion, and I get that Jason will fight for you if you disagree with me, so don't worry. I think there was one ban this year that was not necessary, or one suspension in Premier that was not necessary. And I personally think it actually harmed deck diversity in the game.
Triple Dark Raid.
Yeah. No. Never again. Please pre-ban Triple Dark Raid from Eternal. Please.
Get it out of here.
I don't want that. Nope. That was a great suspension. The one I disagreed with was Force Throw. I have said this before. I just did not feel Force Throw. While Force Throw was a card that could feel pretty excessive, it enabled a lot of decks to keep up with command decks is the big thing.
Yeah.
Command decks put powerful units in play. Command is my units are better than yours color. And not every other deck can just like vanquish them or whatever, or we would usually prefer to play no glory only results if you're in villainy these days. But not every deck can just go, okay, I'm going to get rid of that now. I don't want that to be there. But that enabled red, yellow, red, blue, or red, green in villainy sometimes, which is like, or whatever. Like it enabled these other decks to go, okay, hang on. Like I've got a trick. I've got a thing to do. Plus enabled really, really cool decks where you would intentionally pitch cards to be able to set up other things like Anakin Champion of Mortis or whatever. I think losing Force Throw is why we are seeing this big data vault meta right now. And it's not that there aren't other decks, but I think diversity would be better if we still had Force Throw for a few more months.
All right. I think it was nice they banned Force Throw.
Okay.
And I hate things in card games that are low-hanging fruit. Force Throw is the definition of a low-hanging fruit card, okay? It went into almost virtually any red deck. If you were building it, you were building it to play Force Throw for the most part. I think low-hanging fruit in general is a crutch in deck building. And this is personal again. We're going back to, this is about opinions. I don't care for super crutchy cards in deck building. I think Force Throw was absolutely one of them. Out of necessity, mind you. I do think it was out of necessity. But they're not for me. I thought it was just, oh my gosh, here we go. Force Throw. And then Legends of the Force came out and forget it. I was like, geez, and Rice, man, everybody and their mother is playing this card. And I love the card. One of my favorite cards of the entire game is Force Throw because it feels really cool. The fact that I could 2-for-1 myself to do cool stuff later, or I could just have you get 2-for-1 off of my one resource card. Anyway, I thought it was kind of just low-hanging fruit, felt really just like a kind of a catch-all and kind of uninspired in a way, just like all you Command Data Vault players are also uninspired and boring. Okay, I just think again the hamster wheel is going to spin. I just think it's a different hamster in the wheel now, and I think that's what happened. You kind of touched on that, and I think that's exactly what happened. I still think it's fine that it's gone. It was going anyway. It just got a bit of an early send off, but I don't know. I'm glad it's gone, but I'm fond for it. My heart yearns.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, people are going to fall on different sides of the coin for this one. And to Fantasy Flight's credit, they were proactive. And even though I disagree with this one, I would prefer that a TCG company be proactive with bans, even if I won't like every single one, rather than them just letting formats fester when they're bad.
Yes.
It's better to just do something and
there's
go,
definitely no
maybe
games
this
that
is right,
did that
maybe
for
it's
a while.
wrong, but yeah.
No current game, Big 3 game did that for a while. But yeah, that was fun.
That was
a lot of fun.
I hope people found it fun. Again, like
fun.
Look, at the end of a lot of these podcasts, Jason, I sit down and go like, man, like I feel like we were kind of harsh. Like I feel like it was kind of rough, but like I don't. Also, there's people probably listening to me like, you guys pranced around and sugarcoated every single piece of criticism that you had, and you weren't nearly.
I could get
harsh.
a lot worse. I could turn the hat around, you know.
No, we don't. We
don't want to see my giant bald spot. But yeah, no. I think there's importance to discussing both sides of the coin, but it's really easy to talk about the nice stuff because also everyone does it. So like, and that's not being negative. That or that's not saying what they're saying is cookie cutter. It's just the easiest thing to talk about is the good things.
Well, the hat just came off.
I'm sweating, dude.
Okay, but overall, 2025, we had a really great year for Star Wars Unlimited. I mean, I think overall there were a bunch of stuff. We talked about it, a bunch of stuff that could be improved, but also a bunch of stuff that we really enjoyed. We had some fantastic events. We had some fantastic sets. We had lots of really cool formats, decks performing, and just a lot of fun playing the game and digging the Star Wars universe. I want to know from all of you who listen, our massive listener base, this podcast, down in the comments, let me know one naughty and one nice thing for
one
you.
Naughty and
okay.
One nice, yeah.
And you know what? You could just steal the ones that we said.
Yeah. And you could just,
that's fine.
You could just be naughty if you want. You could be nice if you want.
No, I do one naughty. Come on, we challenge them. Do one naughty.
No, they don't have to do both. You don't run their life.
Oh, listen to Jason.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have one more.
Oh, okay.
And Dan, you're on the nice list this year.
Oh, thank you, Jason. Well, Jason, you're on the naughty list.
Let's go. You already know. Thank you all so much for listening. It's been a great year of Star Wars Unlimited. Really excited for next year. We got a lawless time right around the corner. We have rotation around the corner. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in the world of Star Wars Unlimited. We're going to be excited to talk about it. And hopefully you guys will tune and listen to it. So for Dan, I'm Jason. Have a great, safe holiday with you and yours. Whatever you celebrate safely. Have a great time. Leave the blue milk out for me. I will visit every single one of you. If you leave it out, I will come to your house.
He will not do that.
I will come to your house.
It sounds like a threat right now.
No, I will come to your house.
Okay, that sounded better.
Yeah, like it's all about inflection sometimes.
It is.
All right, everybody.
All right, bye, everyone.
Bye. See, like that's not nice, but bye.
Bye,
that's
everyone.
Nice. Bye. See you later. Good night. Take care, everyone.